Hey guys, it's gonna welcome back to a brand new video, and in today's video, I'm gonna be going over 10 series just basically MLB series for the Toronto Blue Jays that are gonna be very important for their 2021 MLB season, assuming that they play 162 games. I got the idea from diehard Yankees fan. I was watching his channel. I was like, damn, this is a good idea. I'm gonna do this. So, yeah, I've written down 10 series that are very important to the Toronto Blue Jays and their pursuit in postseason run, hopefully. So if you guys are brand new here, be sure to subscribe. Share this with all your friends. If they like baseball, this is definitely the place to be. Turn on the post notification bell so you never miss an upload. And got my notepad, and let's get into this. Very first series the first series we're starting off with is actually the very first series of the year. Opening day series, April 1st to April 4th. They got an off day on April 2nd. Toronto versus New York. It's fairly simple to say why it's important. They're facing Cole, Jameson Taillon, and Corey Kluber. You're going to see how you guys match up against their lineup this year with your additions, how Ryu can handle against Cole, what Pearson can do in New York, what Ray and what those guys can, what can they do. It's very important to see how you match up early on against your biggest division rival, I'd say. Biggest division rival, I'd say, in the Yankees. You got to see how you match up against them, because obviously they're the team to beat. So, depending on how you match up against them, really depends on the year that you have. The next series is April 27th plus the April 28th. Washington at Toronto. A top National League team coming into Toronto. Not the top National League team, but a top-tier competitive National League team. It's a very good chance that you're going to be seeing it's guaranteed you're going to see one of Scherzer, Strasburg, Lester, or Corbin. Very good chance you see two of those guys. Okay? Like, you're going to be seeing top tier. You could end up getting the dick and get Scherzer and Strasburg. You got to see how you guys can handle that. How do you compare? How does one handle a top tier National League team in Washington? And the next series is the series right after, which is April 30th to May 2nd, Atlanta at Toronto. The easy National League East favorites. How are you matching up against the top National League East team in Atlanta? You know, how are you doing against Fried, Soroka, Charlie Morton, Ian Anderson? You know, can you stifle the bat of Acuna, Ozuna, Albies, all those guys? There's a lot of stuff there that goes into this. So, yes. The next series doesn't come until June 8th to 10th. Toronto's at Chicago. Another top American League team. Arguably the favorites to win the Central. How are you competing? How do you shape up against other top teams in the American League? You know, if you're making the playoffs, you're going to be playing one of Chicago or New York. So you got to figure out who you match up with, where their holes are. You know, how do you size up against them? Like, how does your pitching compare to them? How does our hitting compare to them? Our bullpen, all of that stuff. So it's very important to see what they're like early on in the year. Next up is Toronto at New York on July 23rd to the 25th. Obviously, the second place team, I'd say, in the National League. Really good rotation. At this time, they're going to have Syndergaard back, so that's why it's even more important, because you're most likely going to see one of DeGrom, or you're going to see a combination of DeGrom, Syndergaard, Stroman, DeGrom, Syndergaard, Peterson, Walker, or Syndergaard, someone, Carrasco. You got to see, how do you match up? How does your pitching match up against their pitching? That's a huge question mark for the Jays this year. How does our pitching match up against theirs? Is our offense better? You know, are we hitting the ball more? How are we hitting the ball? How are we attacking DeGrom? Because last year they got absolutely stifled by DeGrom. But they've added guys. Maybe they're taking a different approach. You know, July is a really good time to see how you're matching up, especially if it's against DeGrom. He's going to be in his groove. He's going to be where he is peak-wise. He is only going to get better from where he is in July. July is him, he's in his groove, he's in his rhythm, you know. He's in the zone, and he's only going to get better. So, how do you size up against him? Next up is August 23rd, 26th, the final meeting between the White Sox and Toronto. Again, you know, it's after the trade deadline. You got to see how you're matching up now after the deadline, after the White Sox will be making moves, the Blue Jays hopefully making moves. How does your new additions stack up against their new additions? How does your new additions to the rotation or your bullpen or maybe the lineup, maybe there's an injury, how do you guys stack, how does your new look team after the deadline stack up against their new look team? Because again, if you're making the playoffs and you want to play in the playoffs, which is every team's dream, every team's hope and wish, you're going to end up playing one of Chicago or New York, like I said earlier. Next up, I have September 3rd to September 5th. I have Oakland at Toronto. This is important if Oakland's in. Oakland is an underrated team and a very solid chance of being your wild card opponent. If they're your wild card opponent, now you need to see how you're matching up against the guys you're going to be playing in the first round. You know, is your ace better than their ace? Is your offense better than their offense? Is your bullpen better than theirs? How are you guys stronger than them? Where are their holes, and how can you exploit their holes come the playoffs? Next up is September 6th to September 9th, Toronto at New York. End of the season, you're up against New York in September. That's the last chance you get. And you need to see, and it's in New York, so you're going to not only be experiencing playoff experience or playoff atmosphere in New York, but you're also going to be seeing, how does Cole go about his work? How is he out on the mound? How does their lineup, what are they looking for now that they're trying to get that best record? They're trying for even more, now they're in their postseason mentality where it's do or die. How do they react? And how can we counter-react to them? If Cole's dominating you and he's throwing high fastballs out and away, or up and high and outside, if you're a righty and he's putting it out in the left-handed batter's corner, but it's in the strike zone, how are you going to combat that? Are you going to take half a step, that much closer to the plate, so you can shoot your bat head out and shoot it the other way? Are you going to start your load up early? Are you going to try and make him miss outside so that he has to come to you? You're going to just keep fouling stuff off until he makes a mistake? You got to come up with a game plan against playoff Cole. Next up is Toronto at Tampa Bay, September 20th to 22nd. Again, another likely wild card team that you're going to be facing. Division rival. Tampa Bay always gives Toronto a hard time, especially in the Trop. And if it's going for a wild card team, which these two teams should be doing, it is going to be a really fun and exciting series. You're going to be seeing how's Glasnow doing, is Archer back to form? Can Ryu handle what happened to him last time in a playoff atmosphere? How are the big guys handling that high velo fastball? A lot of questions there that will give you answers, and it's at the very end of the year going into the playoffs. Very, very fun series. That's going to be one of the series I'm looking out for. Next up is the very following series, Toronto at Minnesota. Again, another wild card potential matchup. How do you match up against Minnesota? Minnesota's a very good team, and they're a top-tier team in the American League, so you get a really good taste in September of how these top-tier American League teams that are trying to fight for a postseason spot, how they're going about their business. What type of pitches they're trying to throw. Are they trying to exploit your weaknesses, or are they trying to throw their strengths on you? You get lots of learning in this time. And, that was the final one. But I have a bonus series. September 28th to September 30th, New York and at Toronto. That'll be very interesting to watch if Toronto is still in the division hunt. If they're only a game or two behind the Yankees, this series becomes the most important series out of anyone. Because you're going to be seeing Cole going out. Boone isn't going to be fucking around. He isn't going to be leaving Britain in there if he's getting shelled. He's going to win the fucking division against you. So, if they're in the hunt, that's going to be such a huge series for them. And it's going to be such a huge morale boost for the Blue Jays if they win that series. Going in to the playoffs, they got one more series against Baltimore after that. But if they can take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in that series, in Toronto, or Florida, or Dunedin, or Buffalo, or fucking Australia, who knows, that's such a huge morale boost. And then instead of riding here, oh yeah, we're in the playoffs. It's like, oh yeah, we're in the playoffs and we can beat the Yankees, the best American League team. it's such a huge difference. I'm going to be doing recaps on these series every time they happen, going over what I saw, what I liked, what I didn't like, managerial questions if that happens, like if Montoya's making some questionable moves, if Boone's making questionable moves for the very first year, so, what the holes are on the opposition, what our holes are, what our strengths are going to be, what their strengths are, just where I see some potential flaws or non-flaws. So, yeah, those are my top 10 series, plus a bonus one to be looking out for right from the beginning of the season right to the end. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You guys are brand new to this channel. Share this with all your friends, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.